Greetings, peeps, and welcome to Ihu 101 Humanities Through the Arts. It's a pleasure to have you in my course, and I'm very, very happy that you have decided to join us. I do apologize for the mix-up in the beginning of the course. When I was first asked to teach this section of the course, I was under the impression that we were going to be doing the standard 16 weeks. And then I found out after the course has already started that nope, we're only doing 7 weeks. So that kind of changes our schedule. And you've seen I've already adjusted our detailed course calendar. So I do apologize for the mix-up. It does not lessen the amount of work or reading that you're going to be doing, but it does limit our podcast. Just to give you a little background on what we do with Ihu 101. There are several professors at Delta that teach this course, and we kind of rotate. For me, I like to incorporate, of course, music, everything through the lens of music. I am, after all, a professor of music. And I had started a podcast for this particular course several semesters ago. We're kind of in our 4th or 5th season now. And each semester that I do this, I offer 3 to 4 podcast episodes. And the podcast episodes are in 2 parts. They feature local talent from our Tri-City area. And then the students view a performance vid of the artists. And then you submit questions for me to ask the artist on the podcast interview, on the podcast show. And the podcast show is called Ihu 101, the podcast. Unfortunately, this semester, because we are in that shortened time frame, we may only get time for 1 podcast, possibly 2. If it is possible, we'll try it. So you'll get more info on that as we go along. Don't worry about the podcasts at this point. Not a problem for us at this point. So a little bit about how this course works. Essentially, Humanities Through the Arts is kind of a survey of the human experience as it relates to art, and finding out what art is and what does it mean to appreciate various types of art, and what different types of art are there. You know, there's paintings, there's sculpture, there's dance, there's theater, and there's music. So the way this course is designed, this is an all-online course, and it is an asynchronous course. And that's a big word. What does it mean? It means that we do not have a physical or virtual regularly scheduled meeting time. We don't meet together at all, virtually or physically. We're all on our own as far as completing the assignments. And so your progress is totally up to you. But this is why I provide things like the detailed course calendar, so that you know when things start and when things are due. So even though we don't have a regular meeting time, and again, you're responsible for logging on and getting your stuff done, we still have a schedule that we have to follow so that we get things in when they're due. Regular announcements and emails will be sent out to the entire class, so they will all contain, pertinent and important information. But having said that, please understand, I cannot force students to read their email. I can't force you to log on and do your text reading, or force you to log on and do your assignments. This is up to you. This is why we take online courses, right? So that we don't have to physically go to a classroom and listen to someone like me standing at the front of the class droning on and on and on and on. You are responsible for reading the material, viewing and listening and completing the work. So your grade is solely dependent upon the amount of effort you put in and participation that you put in. So there you go. You got to do this on your own. You are responsible for your own work and therefore your own progress, and as a result, your own grade. All up to you. Now, again, the way this course is structured, there are 2 sides to the story. We have our online textbook side, and by the way, you can't successfully pass the course without that online text. So you got to purchase it if you have not already done so. The online textbook contains all of the assignments, all of the readings, the viewing of the artwork, the quizzes. All of that is found on our online text. The other side, of course, is the D2L e-learning side. On the e-learning side, that contains useful components such as the detailed course calendar that I mentioned before, modules that have descriptions of each section of our course, the podcast performances and interview info, and that's, again, debatable right now because we're not really sure how many we're going to have, if any at all. The attendance drop box is there. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. And we're going to be exploring, by the way, our online text in detail in a bit as well. And the discussion topics. So really the only thing that's not on your online text are the discussion topics and the podcasts, shows and interviews. So just keep that in mind, that all of that work, all the assignments, the readings in particular, but also the writings, which are in the quizzes, all of that is on your online text. And of course, news and announcements is also on our e-learning site. And having said that, understand that I will be periodically posting news and announcements, particularly if there's a substantial change in our schedule or material that we're learning. All of that's going to go on the homepage to our e-learning site under the news, right, and announcements. And you probably already guessed this. I also copy that to you in an email. So you're going to get it both in both locations, on our e-learning site and in an email. Okay, so you'll also find, folks, that I'm a very easygoing guy, and I will work with you absolutely all I can. I hope that you understand that I'm trying to create as stress-free an environment as possible for everybody, but we are kind of under a time constraint with this 7-week schedule. So you've got to follow that detailed course calendar and get these items in as quickly as possible. We don't have the luxury of a 16-week course. We got to get all this in 7 weeks, and that's quite a tall order. All right, so having said that, let's take a quick look at navigating around our e-learning site.
Okay, so let's take a look at our D2L e-learning site. When you first log on to e-learning, you will have all of your classes listed if you have online classes, and sometimes even face-to-face classes are listed. So you just simply click on our course, which is MUS 100 WN 810, and you'll see the course logo and so forth. Once you click on that and you open our course's homepage, this is what you will see. On the homepage, you have the announcements. This is where I will provide news and information pertaining to our class, and often I will copy this and send it to you in an email, so you get both an email and the online notification of that's on the homepage. So if you've had e-learning classes before, this works very much the same throughout. You have at the top here all these tabs: the course home, content, grades, activities, communication, course tools, and so forth. So the majority of the items that you're going to be working with will happen on the contents tab. So let's go ahead and click on that and bring that up. And here you can see all of the items that are pertaining to our course, the course syllabus, which is broken down into instructor info, required materials, attendance, and grading. And then a link to our online text. So when you click on this and you click on this link right here, it takes you to a new page, which is our online text. So let's just explore that just a minute. When this loads, you can see we're right on music fundamentals. And that should open in a new window so that you can flip back and forth from our online text to our e-learning site. If you have difficulty doing this, let me know, and I can put you in touch with IT people that can help you out. For now, we're going to close this out because we'll be looking at our online text a little bit later. For now, though, just so you're aware, that is where you can get a link, or rather whether you can have access to our online text. Then the next thing would be our detailed course calendar. This has everything that we have through our course. Everything is laid out by sections. You can see there are a total of 7 sections. Each section has a start date. That's all the way here on the left. You can see that. And an end date, which is essentially the due date. But the reason I don't say due date, folks, is so that you understand that you have this time frame to work with. You don't have to wait until January 18th to turn in, for example, the first section's work. You could turn it in today if you have it done. So just understand this is the time frame that you have to work in. Then we have a module entitled Useful Stuff. Now, at present, not a lot of this is going to be useful to you. As we go along further, though, you may find it useful. One of the items here is a link to something called musictheory.net. This is an external site that allows you to utilize several different tools. We'll just access it now for the time being so you can see. This Tenuto is not something that you're going to need. This is an app that you can download for like an iPhone or an iPad. The theory lessons is really what you're going to want to do eventually. But until then, what I would encourage you to do is go up here to Lessons, this tab right here. Click on that and you can see these are all of the components, all of the elements that we're going to be studying in our course. And the only reason I offer this is it's just another way of looking at the material. For example, the staff, the clefs, and ledger lines, this is something that you are going to be learning about through our online text. And if you come down here to the bottom of this page and you see the little play arrow here, you click on that. You just keep clicking on that, and that takes you through every single one of these points that we're going to be exploring. And again, it's just a matter of it being displayed to you, presented to you in another way. It has nothing to do with your grade. If you do this or don't do this, it's not going to affect your grade. It's just another tool for you to use, and you are always welcome to use any external resource tool you wish to help you along. I do not consider that to be cheating. I consider that to be smart thinking, equipping yourself with as much knowledge as you can. So please feel free to use any internet tool you wish to help you along. So the rest of these items on here will be more pertinent to you the further along we get into the course. Now let's take a look at the various modules as they pertain to our sections. So here on the left, section 1, for example, if we click on that module, you can see here that it has a start date of January 8th, and then it has a due date of January 20th and end date of January 20th. This, folks, is not the assignment. This is just simply telling you what the assignment is. It tells you what the section contains. The assignment is found on our online text, okay? So whether you click on these modules or not is really up to you. This does not satisfy the requirement of doing the assignment. This is just telling you what the assignment is. In other words, it's like another form of a calendar. It has the due dates listed for you, the start and end dates for you. And I do this for this reason. If we go back to the course home page and you look on the lower right hand corner, you can see stuff that's, for example, work to do. It says attendance week 1, attendance week 2. We're going to talk about that in a moment. And it has laid out upcoming events. These are items that are due or when they are due. So don't confuse this calendar, okay, with our detailed course calendar, which is on our contents page. But I just wanted you to be aware these modules do not contain the assignments themselves. They contain descriptions of each section and what you will find in each section, and it also tells you the due date. Same thing with the exams. For example, the final exam only tells you when it starts, when it's due. It does not contain the exam. All of the exams, quizzes, worksheets, and so forth, those are all on our online text. The only thing that is not on our online text that you are required to do are the discussion topics. And one of those has been, the discussion topics in your attendance. One of these discussion topics you've already, many of you have already participated in, and that is, of course, introductions. So when a a discussion topic becomes available, you will be notified and you will be able to participate in it. And again, you can see several of you have already done so. Because this view is a student view, I may not be able to, I'm already subscribed. Good. Okay. So you can see all of the submissions from your fellow students in the class, and you can read them. And I ask you that you respond, just a short response to two of our classmates, or you can even respond to my posting if you wish. It's not a requirement that you respond to me, but to two of our classmates. And this will stay open. This opening discussion of introductions will stay open until, not exactly sure. I believe it's till the end of the month. So, but anyway, do take part in our discussion topics. So the discussion topics and the attendance are the only things that you're going to need to do on D2L, other than, check for announcements, things like that. And D2L or e-learning is where I will generate much of the email correspondence that I send to you. You also have the option on our e-learning site of contacting other students, and you can see through something called the class list, you can see all of the other students in our class, including me, our instructor. So you can email everybody if you wish, or you can email individual students. That is up to you. If you click on this instructor tab, there I am, and you can email me this way if you wish. So there are several ways to contact me, but here's another way. Okay, so let's go back to that contents tab for a minute, just so you can see once again how it's laid out. Everything is here on the left. These are the modules. Once again, the modules do not contain any actual work or assignments. They are just simply descriptions. And then if you come down here to the very end, the composition project, this tells you what the composition project is, and it has the parameters. We'll be discussing this in more detail as we get closer to the deadline. Okay, so hopefully this describes for you a little bit about how our e-learning site is laid out. Now, let's talk about recording your attendance. So if we go to the activities tab up here, this is the fourth tab over, click on that and click on assignment drop boxes. So the only assignment we have in the assignment drop box is the attendance. If you click on that, all you have to do is use this text box. So it says here, this is where you'll record your weekly attendance. Simply enter the message present in the text submission box below, hit submit, and your attendance is recorded. That's all you have to do. So you click in this box, you type in the word present. Doesn't matter to me whether you do all caps or whatever. That's all you got to do. One word. Click submit. And it says here, the submission folder only allows one submission. Are you sure you wish to submit? And you just click yes, and your attendance has been recorded. Then you can click done if you wish, and you can see here that there is one submission that is your submission. And then what will happen is Once I have your submission recorded, you will see that you get 10 points from this submission. I can't do that right now because I'm in student view, but if you take a look at the grades, and the grading scale is not accurate right now. It's going to be updated very quickly, but you can see here there's like weekly attendance for all kinds of attendance entries, and these are not active yet. The only ones that are active right now are week 1, week 2, and week 3. The rest of these are not ready yet. They will be. But you will see over here under the points, you'll see that you get 10 points every time that you log in for and submit a present message for those assignment drop boxes, and that will be included in your grade. All right, so once again, content tab is where the majority of the things are that you are going to need. I will add an attendance module so you don't have to go up to the the activities tab necessarily. But that is one way that you can do that. I should also mention at this point that you do not need to worry for attendance for this first week of class, because that ends as of the production of this video today, the January 11th. So you don't need to worry about those. I will record everyone's attendance for this first week. But from this point forward, please do take the time to go into our e-learning site, go to the activities tab or the attendance module, and follow the instructions. Just hit or type in present in the submission box, and your attendance will be recorded and you will receive the grades. So that's about it for our e-learning site for now. I will have other useful tips for you as we go along, but I encourage you to explore the e-learning site, continue to look at it, and always, if you see an announcement, usually when, let's go back to the course home, usually when you see when I post a news item, which is essentially an announcement, you'll get an email. I also always copy the announcement that I post and send that in the form of an email, including links. You can see here you have some links that you can click on, such as the course syllabus and the detailed course calendar, and then our first discussion topic. So usually these links are embedded into these announcements, just so you know these things are there. Okay, let's get back to our introductory vid.
So I hope you found that useful and informative. Now let's examine our online textbook. This is the McGraw-Hill Connect. And again, as I said earlier, you have to log on. I can't make you do that. You've got to log on. You've got to do the readings. You have to take the quizzes and whatever writing assignments might be in there. Now, I did have a question from a student regarding the reading. How do you know, or how do I know, when you've completed a reading assignment? Well, what happens is every time you log on, both to e-learning or our online text, I get a notification. And your grade is based upon, again, your participation. So when I look at your individual records, it shows me how much you've accomplished, the percentage that you've done. So while you may not get a notification saying, congratulations, you've read chapters 1 and 2, I do. I get that from you, I see. And obviously, it'll be evident that you've read the material based upon your test scores and your quiz scores. So please, understand, you have to do the work. You do have to do the readings. You do have to view the artwork that the textbook requires you to. I do mention, however, in our online text, it's perfectly fine to keep 2 windows open so that you can go back, look at your text as well while you're taking exams. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So let's do this. Let's take a look at our online text and navigating through our online text.
Okay, so now let's take a look at navigating around our online text. When you log in to the online text link, whatever is provided for you by the McGraw-Hill Connect site, you will see a page, you will come up to a page that looks something like this. It will have the chapters and the assignments laid out for you on the right. You do have some choices here from a menu. What's due if you click on the to do. It says no assignments are due in the next 7 days. Check your class page for upcoming assignments. That's not exactly true or accurate, but we'll we'll get to it. But what you are going to want to do is to once again look at the page with respect to assignments. Now, according to what's going on here, and this is why it tells you there's nothing due within the next 7 days, is because this first section is due on January 18th, and the first section includes chapters 1 and 2, of course, and the writing component of this. Now, obviously, we can double check that by looking at our e-learning D2L site. So let's just go back there real quick and click on the Contents tab, and we can go to the detailed course calendar, and we can see Section 1 is in fact due on January 18th. Okay, so let's go back to the text. Now, how do we do these assignments? The first assignment is to read Chapter 1 and the Humanities and Introduction. And so you click on this arrow right here, and it gives you the choice to begin. You click on Begin, and the textbook is opened before you. And you have some options here that you can look at, but it's artwork right now that you're looking at. But how do you turn pages? These arrows right up here, or you can also click on the Contents tab, the Contents tab, Table of Contents, and go anywhere within the book. Now, let's just go to the next page, and I want to bring your attention to something, a tool that might be useful to you. You can have the textbook read to you if you click on the speaker icon where it says Read Aloud.
The humanities, a study of values. The humanities and sciences are not as distinct from one another as current academic descriptions imply. Originally, the humanities indicated a split.
So you can pause that, or you can not use it at all. It's entirely up to you. If you don't like to have something read to you, then you can just simply read on your own. But the assignment is to read through Chapter 1 and through Chapter 2. So each page obviously contains text, and each page also contains works of art. If you click on the work of art, you'll get another window that brings that up, and you can even zoom in on the work to a degree, just to take a look at the work in a little bit closer detail if you wish. So, and that is open to you with every single work of art, except those that you cannot, that aren't highlighted. So just be aware. Some of these are not highlighted, so you're not able to view them in that light. The ones that are, obviously, you can zoom in on. Okay, so again, the assignment is to read through those chapters. Now, what happens in these cases when your text is open? Another window, it opens up in a new window. So you actually have the ability to flip back and forth. You can close this out. There's this second part of this first section, Chapter 2, and then there is the writing component, which is the quiz. If you click on this, it asks you, it says requires instructor grading, gives you the assignment detail, and it says not started yet, second attempt, and you have 2 attempts, I believe, at each of these. It could be 3, I honestly cannot remember. But when you click on begin, you're brought to this component of the assignment, and you can see it's worth 110 points. You can see that it is due on January 18th, and it says current attempt 1 of 2. So if you click continue, you're brought to the actual quiz itself. It's asking you, artistic form usually implies a strong degree of perceptible content, unity, disunity. Please understand that these are more what do you think type questions than they are right or wrong questions, but you will be able to discern which answer best describes simply from the reading that you do. So please don't just try to blow through these. It is important that you are accurate with your answers, but I wanted to to sort of bring you to your attention. Notice how I have this window open, and I also have the textbook open. You are welcome to keep both these windows open so that you can look at the answers yourself. So please, avail yourself to every resource that you can. I have no problem with that whatsoever. You click on next, and you're brought to the next question, and you can keep going if you wish, but I wanted to explain something to you. No two quizzes, no two writing assignments are identical per student. So if you, for example, if you don't answer the first attempt and you go back and do it again, you're going to see different questions. It's just to ensure academic integrity. That's why they do it that way. Also, it's to prevent two people from sitting at two different computers being able to look off each other to get the answers. It won't work that way because you'll see two completely different quizzes. So just understand that's how this is done. Now, this is why I say in the description on the detailed course calendar, let's just go back there real quick. I say that note that some quizzes may contain short essays. Well, there you go. They certainly do. Short essays, right? Paragraph, that's about all you have to do. It's just asking you to, using your experience in perceiving either Bloom's The Eternal City of David, or David Alfaro's Socrates' Echo of a Scream, discuss how education and experience changed your perception of the art. Were your values identified at all, and if so, how? I don't require you to write, a 10-page essay for this answer. It can just be a paragraph, that's fine. But you do need to be explicit. You do need to include these details that they are asking for. And note up here at the top, this question will be sent to your instructor for grading. So really, it should say this answer, your answer should be, you will be sent to me for grading. So I do grade these based upon your content. If I feel that you're not being detailed enough, I may ask you to resubmit, or I may ask you to rethink your answer. So please, don't blow these off. Just take your time, answer the best of your abilities, and remember, you have this time frame between now and January 18th to complete these assignments. Okay. I hope this gives you a little bit of an edge and a little bit of an informative look at our online text. I realize this is not a comprehensive overview, but if you have questions at any point, all you have to do is shoot me an email. You can save and exit this, and if you do that, it'll say your assignment has been saved, continue to the assignment. So this allows you to pause, you go get a cup of coffee, whatever you want to do, and come back, or you can say exit now. But understand, when you come back to this, let's just do that, shall we? Notice how it says not started yet, 2 attempts remaining. This is from my point of view. I'm an instructor looking at it through the student view. Yours may be different. You may only have 2 attempts, and if you try that, you might only have 1 attempt left. So please, just be careful when you do this. Allow yourself enough time to complete the work. Also, I might point out to you that you can download the mobile app so that you can read your text offline. So if you want to do this on your phone, for example, you could read it on your phone and then come back and do the assignments on your laptop or PC or however you are doing it. You also have the option to purchase a discounted loose leaf copy of the text if you wish, not something that you necessarily have to. You can also simply click on this link right here, and that's going to bring you up to the text. It's not going to be, you're going to have to obviously page through where you want to be or use that contents tab, but it's the same text. So just understand, here's chapter 1, brings you right up to chapter 1. That's something that you can decide for yourself. It is not necessary that you do that, but that is another option, another way for you to read your online text. All of the sections are laid out this way. So, your task reading for your first section, reading chapters 1 and 2, and then your writing assignment involves chapters 1 and 2, and then the next one, chapters 3, chapters 4, chapters 5. That writing assignment, chapters 3, 4, and 5, and so on. So you can see here, folks, this is all laid out quite well for you. I hope this, again, clarifies things for you with respect to our online text. If you have not yet purchased the online textbook access code, I encourage you to do so as quickly as possible. The sooner you get registered for that online text, the sooner you can begin completing assignments. Again, as always, if you have questions, you feel free to email me. Okay, let's get back to our introduction vid.
Okay, so hopefully, again, you've found that informative and helpful. Again, while there is no indicator on your end when you've completed readings, I do see it with a percentage marking of what you've accomplished so far. It will be evident, though, if you've read the material, by how well you're answering questions and the short written essays. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about attendance. Now, as I said earlier, we are a virtual course. We're online, so there is no physical or virtual meeting times. We're asynchronous. All of that's up to you. Your attendance in this course is solely dependent upon your own engagement in the course material. So every time you log on, every time you complete an assignment, every time you do a reading, every time you participate in a discussion topic, every time you log into that weekly attendance and type present, that's an engagement in the course, okay? And that counts as attendance. You have to record your own attendance. Remember, there's only one submission per week. It doesn't matter which day you submit that, right? You can submit it on a Monday, on a Wednesday, whatever. You will have from Sundays at 12:01 a.m. to Saturdays, the following Saturdays, at 11:59 p.m. each week to turn in that, to submit it, I should say. I keep saying turn in. So yeah, you've got plenty of time to do that. If you want to do it, if you want to do it every single Monday or every single Sunday, that's up to you. If you want to wait till Saturday, go ahead. That's entirely up to you. You just have to make sure that you do one submission every week. And having said that, by the way, the first week submissions I took care of. You don't need to worry about week 1. That's all taken care of. So don't worry about it. All done. Now, as far as grades are concerned, the most accurate representation of your grade can be found on your online text, and that is in the gradings that I give you for your tests, for these written essays, or the gradings that you see put out by your when you complete an assignment. So, but understand, that is not your final, total, end-all, be-all grade. I consider much, much, much more than that. I consider the whole picture with students. So I'm more interested that you are being engaged in the course. So if you are logging on, if you are doing the readings, if you are submitting, your quizzes, answering the questions, even if you are, are not answering everything 100% correctly, it does not mean that you are not passing the course with an A. I am considering your participation and your effort every bit as much as I do correct answers. So please, relax, enjoy the course, but do the work. Get things done. You're going to be absolutely fine. If you're engaged in the course, as I say, completing assignments on time and communicating with me through emails and the online discussion topics, you're going to do just fine. You'll have no worries. If at any time you have a question about the online text, about the e-learning or any of the course materials, or you just need to talk to me about maybe explanations of the material that we're covering, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to respond and help you out as much as I can. Along with that, let's make sure we understand that I do try to answer emails within 24 to 48 hours. The only exception to that rule is the weekends. I do not answer email on the weekends. So unless it's an emergency situation or we just have this plethora of glitches, as we did at the beginning of this semester. So just understand, I do my best to respond to you as quickly as I possibly can. But if you don't hear from me, if you email me on a Friday, you're not going to hear from me until the following Monday. So just let's make sure we understand that. There will be other lectures, lecture vids presented to you throughout the course of the work. Not as many as normal, just simply because we don't have the time. There's only 7 weeks. But if at any time you need to speak with me directly, one-on-one, we can do this in a number of ways. I'm not on campus every day of the week this semester in particular. I'm only there like 3 days a week this semester. So if you need to see me specifically, you're always welcome to drop by my office. And even if my door is shut, knock on that door, because it doesn't mean that I'm not there. It could just mean that I'm sleeping. No, it could just mean that I'm on the phone or something. So, so we can meet in person. We can also do a virtual meeting through Zoom or WhatsApp or what have you. But the best thing to do would be to email me to set up a time for that, so that I'm certain to set aside time just for you. Okay, folks, I hope this has answered some questions for you and clarified some things for you. I look forward to working with each of you. I've really enjoyed reading your posts in our first discussion topic introductions. So yeah, just keep those emails coming and keep participating in the course as much as possible. It's going to be a great experience for all of us, I'm sure. And hopefully we will get to do one of the podcasts, at least one, possibly even two. Okay, so again, any questions, shoot me an email. Have an absolutely fantastic semester, folks. I look forward to getting to work with each of you. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? I bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, a Cadillac car, and everything. Love makes me treat you the way that I do.